Hello everyone, we will start in 10 minutes, more or less, so please vote on Twitter to tell us the features that you want us to build first. See you around. Alright everyone, we will start in 5 minutes, so stay tuned and don't forget to vote for what we will build first. And I will open the chat. There is also Wesley helping me today, so Wesley and Boo from the community will be in the chat to read what you say. And yeah, we will do a 3D game today, and that's a horror 3D game. So Wesley will join us after we started. He is not there already, but he will join later. Five more minutes and we start. Thanks everyone for joining this week again. We're trying to make these lives every week now because it's useful and it's fun to have people there. Yeah, we just had 100k subscribers on YouTube, so that's super great, and we want to thank you everyone for following us on YouTube, but also on other social medias, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook. We have an account on Blue Sky, so yeah, every follow is helping to make GDevelop a bit more famous in the world. Alright, a few more minutes and we'll get started. In the meantime, don't forget to vote on Twitter, because that will be what we use to know what we do first. And it's Wesley monitoring the Twitter vote. Is GDevelop for kids? Not only. I mean, it works for kids. We know that there are a lot of people using it in classrooms, in education settings. But that's what is great with GDevelop, is that you can go from, very ambitious games to just teaching or learning with it, even for kids. And fairly young kids that have been able to who have been able to use GDevelop in classrooms. We have a whole page about education on the website. I'm happy that you say that you love how GDevelop is simple to use. And yeah, it depends. And I know that we have people who are really young using GDevelop. And since a few months, because you can do 3D games with the 3D editor, it's also getting simpler to make, well, real 3D games with physics and everything. Yeah, we know that in some countries, because of, I guess, some blocking from internet providers or maybe governments, can't really be sure. GDevelop is harder to launch the app, or some part cannot work. So usually a VPN is making things better. All right, 1 minute, a bit more, a bit less, and we'll get started. Don't forget to vote if you've not done already on Twitter, and then we'll start. All right, let's get started. Hey everyone, let's get started. And this week we'll make a 3D horror game. I have helper Wesley from the community who is there and who will help me look at what you've asked for on Twitter. And well, Wesley, you can start telling me what we should work on to begin with.
Cool. Okay, so the first thing that they voted for is add and animate the monster.
Okay, nice. Let's go for it. So there you can see I have GDevelop opened. We're in the create page where I have a bunch of games and you can click on create a new game. If you've never used GDevelop, there is a bunch of starter games that we've made that are showing all the different kind of games that you can make with GDevelop, or you can start from scratch. There are also a lot of templates, free paid templates, very simple or very advanced templates that you can use to start your game. In our case, this week we'll start with the 3D first-person horror game, which has a nice setup already. We will save it in the cloud and start a new game. All right, so there we can launch the 3D editor, and because there is a lot of fog, we don't see much things, so we can just disable for now the 3D effects, so the light, the lighting and the shadows, but this will work in the game. So it's a fairly basic game for now, and this is the monster. We can take a look at the game that is already working to see a bit, well, how it works. The player is there, the monster is there, it's just a big orange guy, and there is a bunch of events, notably some that allow the monster to patrol and chase the player. Let's give it a try. So I'm running the game, I can move around, and the monster is there. So if I'm going too close to it, it's trying to chase me. And if it's touching me, then we just restart the game. So fairly simple, but that's a good start. Wesley, can you remind me what we should do first?
We're going to swap out the monster character model with something that's a little scarier, and then animate it to make it face towards the player and walk.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So let's do it. So let's take the monster there. So first thing we could take a look at the 3D model that we're using it, and we could replace it by one that is from the asset store. There are a lot of templates that we can use there. Sorry, not templates, assets, public domain assets, and free or paid assets that we could search there for everything that you can think of in a game. Of course, you can also import your own 3D models. In our case, I will let the AI in GDevelop to actually do the change. I think it can be fun to see what it can take for what it can find for us. Yeah, let's ask it to replace the monster by a new monster asset. That should work. Because I'm using the build mode, it will actually do some changes, but if I was using the ask mode, then it will only tell me what to do. So yeah, it's replacing the monster by a new one. Okay, that's actually a fun little cute monster, but that will do it. I think that I can resize it a bit to make it a tad taller and less, and a bit more frightening. So there I've just clicked on the object and I can edit it, and for example I can reduce the size and uncheck this so that it's following exactly the size I'm giving it. That's a bit like, we could make a huge monster, like a bit like Slenderman. So that's one thing. If I click on preview now, that should basically be the same, except that the monster is not moving. It's moving very slowly. See? It's because the monster is a bit bigger now, and so it's more heavy. And so it's the events making it moving. They're making it, how can I say? It's going slower because it's more heavy. So what we can do is we can just take the monster, edit the object, and we can take a look at what are the behaviors on it. We see there is the 3D physics behavior, and we can change the mass of the monster. So let's try 10 or 15 kilograms and see how it looks like. So now if I'm going through the monster, it should go faster. It's faster now, and I can barely avoid it. Okay, all right. The monster is not walking. I think that there is a walk animation, and I could ask the AI to change it if I didn't know how to do it, but let me try by myself. I can open the logic for the monster, and you see there is some events running when it's patrolling or chasing the player. So let me add an action to change the monster animation. And there is a walk one, so I will just change animation. I think the monster can be always walking. We can also change the animation back to idle when it's not moving, but I think that usually when you see the monster, it is moving. Let's give it a try. Yeah, well, it's now walking even when it's idle, but that should work. We can improve this later. And we now have a different moving monster. Wesley, what should we do more? Should we create a jump scare for when we're touched by the monster, or should we vote for a different feature that we will be building?
We can put up a vote here on Twitter for the next thing.
Okay.
That seems like a pretty good change there.
That was a very simple start, but I guess let's vote for something different to do and see what we can do. For example, build the level or create a level maybe. We'll see. Let's start the vote. 5 minutes should be enough.
Okay, the vote is up there now. The link to the Twitter poll.
Let's go for. Oh, that's way too much time. Let's go for something like 4 minutes of voting time. So you can go on Twitter and vote for the next feature. So right now we've just modified the asset. We could have searched in the asset store. We could also have used the AI, which is what we did. So the AI is able to search in the asset store according to what you ask for it. It's basically a super search that you can use. It's getting a bit difficult to avoid, but I can still avoid it because it's fast, but not that fast. That should be good because if we build a level, you want then to be able to still avoid the monster, but feel that you're threatened by it, which should be okay with this spin. Making a jump scare screen could be fun because right now it's just restarting the game. We prepare a new chat there. So if you're using the AI, I highly recommend that when you're done with a feature, like this one was just a simple feature, like changing the monster, then you start a new chat. Continuing the same chat with the AI is usually good when you're working on the same thing, but if we do something different, then it's just easier to start a new chat and to have a context that is free of what you've done previously. Also remember that you can change between the ask and the build mode. Usually it's a good idea to start with the ask version. In a chat you can ask something, how would you do something in the game? In both cases the AI has access to the full, it can inspect the game, and then you can switch to build mode when you're done. So yeah, for continuing, we could build the layout of the level, could create a jump scare scene. What we could make a key to pick up. We could also set up some audio because right now there is just no audio in the game, so we could have a background music and some noise effect when you're near the monster. That could actually be the background music, and we could increase the volume when the monster is near the player. Okay, 1 more minute to go. So go on Twitter, vote for what we do, and then we will do it. And we will do it on this game that will be shared. So the game that we are building there, we will share it. And by the way, I'm remembering to save it now. Speaking of saves, when you do save your game, you have access to the file history. So there it's a cloud project. If you're using the desktop version of GDevelop, you can save locally. Using the web version of GDevelop and also the desktop version, you can save your project in the cloud, which is helpful because then you have access to the project history, which is all the saves that you've made in the past. Or when you're using the AI, it's also showing you the saves, the automatic saves that have been made by the AI. So you can go back and restore your project in case you make a mistake. All right, the voting time is over. Do we know what we are doing now, Wesley?
Yeah, unanimously, it is adding the house floor layout.
All right, so let's build the level. I think that was my favorite choice because I want to build a nice level there. So let me close the AI because I think I can do it better. And let's make some house level there. So I will need some walls, and we can add a roof later and maybe some doors. So let me remove this stuff there that we don't need. We can keep the boxes. They could be something that we see in a room of of the game. So let me insert new objects, and for this I will search for a building kit. Yeah, this building kit is pretty good, and that should help us. So let's search for some walls that we want for our game. So there is a low one. Okay, that's a big wall there. Let's add it to the scene. The roof can come later. We can have some door. We can have this door that is that has an animation to open and close. That will be helpful. So what we can do is that you need to find a key in the house, and when you find it, then you can open the door, and then you've won. And if the monster catches you, then you're done. And this is, and maybe we can use this or a larger one, maybe this one, to create some parts without doors, but where we can go through to delimit rooms. So I have added the 3 objects, and I can now drag and drop them, and I can enable the grid to create some interesting layout. So let me rotate this first, and now I can duplicate, let me put the monster a bit away, and let me start and create some kind of room there. So I can duplicate the walls like this, and I can create some new walls there too. Alright, and let's put another wall over there to close this room. So I can press F to focus and move around an object, which is good to move quickly in the 3D editor. And I'm pressing the, oops, where it's gone? I see it's gone there. I can press the command key or the control key on your computer, on Windows or Linux, to duplicate quickly. I could also resize the walls, but I just want to show how we can build stuff using the grid. And we should be good. We should be good. Okay, that's a beginning. Let me duplicate this whole wall there and put it somewhere like there. I think this one is, and I can remove some part and add the doorway, the big doorway. There we go. It's getting better now. And let me move this. Actually, what we can do is to have 2 of them, so that the monster could go from one to the other. I mean, you could avoid the monster by going in one doorway, or and try to avoid the monster catching you by going to the other. Let's put another one there. Let me move the player away and duplicate this wall. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let me save. And let's close the by making another wall there. So let me duplicate again this big chunk of walls and duplicate it again there. And there we can add a doorway for the actual door. So I need another object from the same asset pack, which is a smaller doorway. This one should be fine. Okay, that's a beginning, and we have the door itself, which we can put there, and the grid is really helping there to make a perfect layout. Like, it's almost maybe too perfect for a house, and that's a very small room there, but that will do. That will do. Okay, so we're starting there. And the player, the monster will be there. Oops. There we go. And right now, if I just launch the game like this, the walls, they are not having any impact on the gameplay. I can go through them, and the monster will be able to also go through them. So we need to make them, solid. So that's doable by adding a behavior. And actually, let me ask the AI, please make the walls and the doorway and the door solid. Also prevent the monster to find a path through them. So we want both them to be solid and the monster to not go, to consider them as obstacles for the pathfinding. So I'm launching the AI, and what it should do is to basically, and I'm missing some, there is some gap there. Let me fix it. So what it should do is to add some behaviors on the wall, and it's making them static. Okay, it seems that it's working. So we could read what it's telling us, but let's just check quickly. There I'm clicking on the wall, editing the objects, and I can see that now it's considered as an obstacle for the pathfinding, which is used by the monster to move around. And it's also now a 3D physical object, which is static, so it's not moving and it's an obstacle. This will work, but this won't work for the doorway because it will be considered as a huge box you cannot go through. Let me show you. If I try to go through it, I'm blocked by this invisible wall because it's considered as a static object. So for this, to fix this, you can use this new feature that we just released in the latest version, which is to change the shape to a mesh, meaning that the exact shape of the 3D object will be used for collision. And now if I preview the game, I can just now go through it, but not go through the wall. I can also see that the door is staying open there, so we should close it. And the monster is going around, and it's going almost through the wall. I mean, it went through it. Damn, you've been cheating. I think it's because the pathfinding is not finding a way to go around, so let's remove some boxes there. There is always some adaptations to do like this. And let's put one there. Okay, that should be better. We try, the monster was too cornered and had to go through it. So it's always something that you have to try and adapt in a game like this. Yes, so the door was opened, so we will just check the animation that it has. So we can open the properties there and click there to open the full properties, and you can see that there is a bunch of animations: open, closed, open and close. What we'll do, we'll move the close animation to be on the first animation. This way it should close when we start the game. There we go. It's a closed door now. And I don't know why the monster is always going through the walls, but it's getting back there and chasing me. That should work for now. And thanks to the boxes, I've been able to run over the walls. It will be helpful to add the roof later. Okay, let's vote for the next feature, maybe, Wesley. And I think I should make the monster a bit more heavy and definitely bigger so that we avoid it to go through the walls.
All right. The next vote is up there on Twitter now, folks. I'm putting the link in the YouTube chat. It's going to get pinned there now.
Cool. Let me start a timer. How much time do you want, Wesley, for
5 minutes would be nice. You also, during that time, you can make the ground wider so you have more room to walk around outside the house.
True. Let's do this.
Let's start the timer first.
Let's start the timer now, and here we go. So you have 5 minutes to vote, And you know what? I also like to change the texture of the game. Oh, sorry, not the game, of the floor. And I think that we could also ask the AI why I'm making it larger. So let's ask it, please replace the grass texture by another grass texture, and we'll see what it can pick. Yeah, let's go for it. And I can make it wider because indeed we need more space for. So for this, you can see that this object is locked, meaning that I cannot move it, which is useful because when I'm building the walls, and there is a gap there. When I'm building the layout with the walls, I don't want to move the ground around. So let me edit the objects. And actually, I don't need to edit the object, I just need to change the size. I can uncheck the ratio and make the width larger and the height also larger, and I can move it on this axis and the other axis. Oh, okay, and we have a big one now, a big ground, so we could build a larger level, even if we probably won't have time during this live, but that should work. And we will add a roof later. We could also add some part of the walls that are destroyed, so that then you have some lights going through it. Okay, the AI took a bit of time to find it, but it found a pretty okay texture that will work. That's also what I like with this kind of AI tool. You can just ask it to try stuff while you're working on something else. And if you're not happy about it, you can always click on this button there to restore the project to what it was before. 2 more minutes, a bit more, for voting on the next feature. I think like maybe having the key there that you can grab somewhere hidden there near the monster, that you can grab, so that then when you touch the door it's opening. That would be maybe a good solution. I mean, a good first step, well, a next step, because right now I cannot
Hey,
open
Florian?
the door. Yes, let me know.
There's somebody in chat earlier, Bird there, was asking about how to get more cloud projects, so that you can make more games.
Yes, so the cloud project, and oh, the monster is there. Let me avoid it. There we go. I'm getting back to you once I'm done with the monster. It's actually fairly fast. See, I can barely escape it if I'm not going through behind the blocks. And now I'm saved. Okay, so yeah, to answer the question, you're having 3 cloud projects with a free account because it's using storage on the cloud and we have to pay for it. So that's why you have a few cloud projects. If you get a silver or gold or a pro account, pro membership, then you get 10, 50, 50, 100 or unlimited cloud projects according to the membership that you choose. And that's something that I usually recommend. Right there, I'm having a gold account because when you're trying stuff on different games, it's good to go from one game to the other to try a new example. You're not forced to save them in the cloud. You can work locally, which is something you can always do. But it's better to be able to come back to what you've done, to try stuff. You can ask something to the AI, restore it. That's why cloud projects are, I think, interesting.
And one more question there in chat. In 1 minute, can you answer why did you create GDevelop originally?
That's a good question. The answer is fairly simple. When I was young, I was a gamer. I was playing games. I was playing, sandboxes, sandbox games like GTA or Minecraft was not a thing at the time, and I was always wondering, how do I create my own games? I've been playing a lot also to games on the Nintendo DS, on Game Boy, I had a PlayStation at the time, and I was wondering, how do I make games? And turns out that the answer was pretty complex. You have to learn how to use a game engine, to learn how to code, to learn 3D modeling. There is a lot of stuff to know to make video games, and it was super hard to find where to start. And that's why I created GDevelop, because I wanted to make game creation more accessible, basically. And I think we're getting there, because if I had this when I was younger, I would probably be really liking it, just because you can start in a few minutes. That's what we're trying to do with this live stream, to showcase how to create quickly a game and how to have fun also. Usually the problem with a game engine is that you have to learn some complex skills, which are super helpful, and skills that you can learn with GDevelop, but you can learn them progressively and still start very fast by just creating this kind of game, by going in the visual events composed of condition and actions, to learn how to make games and to learn the logic that you need to make a game.
Okay, the vote is over there now, and on Twitter it says pick up a key object.
Oh yes, all right, the key. I mean, for me it would be the obvious next step to make this a real game where there is an objective. So, well, let's add a key object so that we can find in the assets store, and let's make it so that when we pick it, we will remember it by creating a variable that will hold the information that we have the key. We'll also delete the key, so it will be in our inventory. The inventory won't be shown on the screen. We could show it, but for now we will just remember it using a variable in memory. And then when we touch the door, if we have the key, so if the variable say that we have the key, then we will we will open the door. So same thing, I want to try to make it with the AI by asking it to add a 3D object, a 3D key object, and when it's picked by the player, then what should we do? So when the player collides with it, well, when it's picked by the player, remember this, and if the player collides with the door, then open the door. Open the door, and let's tell it to disable the physics behavior on the door so we can pass through it. I'm explaining maybe a bit too much, but I want to be extra sure about what we're doing. So let's go to the events there, which are the whole logic of the game. So you can see that the AI is creating a key in the scene, and it's creating a variable which is called as key for the player object. So this will be the variable containing the information: do we have the key or not? And then we want to add events that will be remove the key when we touch it, update the variable, and then when we touch the door and we have the variable telling that we have the key, then we open the door. That should be what the AI is doing, because that's what I've asked. So yeah, there will be a first event so that when the player collides with the key, we delete the key. Let's wait for it to create the events, and we will come back and see what it has been doing. In the meantime, I've seen that the door was not exactly at the right position, or was it? I think there was some... there was some gap. Well, we'll see that later. Okay, we're done with the events. So if the player is in collision with the key, we delete the key, change the variable, and if we touch the door and we have the key, then we open the door. Let's try it. I think the key was nowhere to be found in the level, so let's put it. Let's put it just in front of the player so that it's not hard to find yet. I've not even looked at what the key was, but that seems to be a pretty big one. Yes, that's okay. Same thing as before. You can just check what the 3D object is, and you could replace it by something else. You could also choose it from in the asset store, rather than letting the AI do the job like I did, but I just want to see what it's picking for me. So there, the key is there. So if I take it and then touch the door, it's opening, and I can go through it. Okay, we have the winning condition, and we should be good. The monster is still going through the walls, and that's alright. Can I avoid it? Yes, and then I can go through the door. And it can also go through the door if it's now trying to come there. So we have to be careful even when we're out. All right. Are we done with the key, Wesley? Should we do something else?
I mean, yeah, that was pretty quick, actually. I think if possible, it would be interesting to use the 3D raycasting to like open the door, to click on the door.
Oh, you want us to click on the door to open it?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That's
and it's more in line with what people kind of would do in their own game.
Yes, so there I did something very simple, which was indeed to check if the player is in collision with the door. Well, Wesley, can you walk me through how you will do it? You told me about the raycast.
Yeah, 3D raycasting is already available in the engine now. It's added to this project, I believe, because the monster is using it to track the player. So in the event sheet, if you just add the 3D...
I think it's raycast to... from the camera center?
From the camera center, yes. From the camera center to
Yeah.
the door,
and
door. Then just left click.
Okay, that's okay. So let me do it like this. If I remove the first condition, now the door will open as soon as we get the key. So what you're telling me is I can use the door. Where is the door? There, it's there. And we can use the raycast from the camera center. So we are launching a virtual ray from the camera. And for a distance of maybe, so we should be something like 200 pixels away from the door. We can make it closer or not later. And if there is a collision with the door, if this ray coming from the camera is colliding with the door, then this condition will be true. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wesley, but I think that's fine.
Yep, that should be right.
And then
just like left click or something to open the door.
And then you can check the mouse button. So let me search for button, and mouse button released, and the left one. Pressed or released, both should work. Let me try. So there I'm getting the key. The door is not opening, but if I click, it's opening. It's actually working. Well, that's better. I do agree. That's better. So that's more what you would do indeed in a game, and you could also use, and let me move the monster there. What someone could use in a game would be also when the ray is cast and the condition is true, you could add a sub-event to display on the screen a text like click to open or press a key to open, and then have another sub-event checking if the key or the mouse button is actually pressed, and in this case you do the logic to open the door, which is this. Let's do a vote for the next feature if we're done with this, Wesley.
Yep, awesome. Putting up now. It is posted, and in just a second I will share it in chat.
Perfect. Let's start the vote. I've started the timer, so we'll continue in 5 more minutes.
All right, the next vote is there.
Okay, perfect. So what are the different possibilities now, Wesley? Maybe the audio background, the background audio. What
Yeah,
else
you got
could
the when the monster gets near you, the music that plays,
nice?
the win game screen,
Yes,
the jump scare, so when you lose, and
yes,
then adding the roof and the windows and things to the building.
yes, yes. We could totally replace a wall by some kind of windows or something like this because we have some lights set up there and oh, I forgot I had to click to it and we could change the lighting so that it's a bit more um, like uh, like you're in the night. We could change the fog too.
Yeah, we could definitely make it so that the game is a little scarier and darker and more cramped. But in the meantime, while the voting is going, answering questions in the chat, people would probably really appreciate that.
Let's do this. Let's do this. And I've actually removed the pathfinding obstacle that was on the doorway, meaning that the monster will not go through it. Now it will. So that's why it was having difficulties finding me because it was considering the doorway to be an obstacle. All right, let's take a look at the chat. Um, mm, mm, mm. So I'm asking, AI is here to stay and is going to play a big part in the future of game development as well. Will GDevelop focus even more on AI in future release, such as generating assets? We don't want to generate assets because we think it's not the goal of GDevelop. There, you can create art on your own. You can find other solutions to create art, and for now we don't think there is a good solution to create art that is also an AI that is ethically trained for art. This being said, I think that AI is interesting, and is becoming better at coding and at helping to build stuff like what we have in GDevelop. So we will continue to see how it's progressing. And the good thing with GDevelop and with game engines in general that you can do things on your own, or you can try with AI, which is something that I'm trying to do in this live to show how we can do things manually and also how we can do by asking the AI. When I asked it to create the 3D key and to make it so that when I'm touching it, then I can open the door, it's something that is interesting because if I was not knowing about condition and actions in GDevelop, this would have been helpful. It's telling me what to use, that a variable can be used, I can check for collision, and that's why we want to make sure that there is an AI that is helpful for GDevelop. If you're trying to ask questions to other more generic AIs, usually they have answers, but they're not always good or adapted to what we have in GDevelop. Yeah, let me check again the chat. How does the boomerang behavior work and what it's used for? It could be great for the a sword slice effect on a 2D game. Yeah, so the boomerang, I think it's a behavior for 2D only, but that allows to launch an object and then it's coming back to the initial position. That could work actually for a 3D game as long as you use it only for moving on the floor. And well, actually, I don't know what this behavior is. Let me ask. Is it how would you do a boomerang object in and that's it.
Make sure you're not in build mode.
And I'm in ask mode, so hopefully
Okay.
that should work. Because I certainly don't want a boomerang in this game. I mean, that could be something, but yeah. So okay, we have the answer already. So there is indeed a boomerang extension. The good thing with GDevelop is that now I don't even know about everything that we have because we are having more and more features and behaviors. And that's that's a behavior. You can change the rotation, the throw speed, and there is an action to throw the boomerang using an angle or toward a position. It's a bit like the fire bullet extension, which we're using a lot usually in a game where you can shoot things, because it handles for you the fire rate and it creates a bullet and launch it. It's useful for 2D games, but also for 3D games when you want the bullets to go not in the air but on the floor. Anyway, that's that's interesting because I didn't really know about it. We are out of time. We should take a look at the votes, should we?
Yeah, so we have the next vote coming in. It is almost unanimous. Jump scare.
Jump scare. Okay, right. Let's create a new scene called jump scare. Black background, and that's not enough. I'm thinking about what we could do in the jump scare scene. We could display the monster that we have there. Okay, so that was fast. That is the scene, and we could duplicate the monster from the game scene into the jump scare scene and make it put it in the middle of the screen, make it big. So that I want the jump scare screen to be to be showing the monster with the big monster with his face in front of the camera, and then we will do some kind of flashing of the monster, and we will show it when the monster is touching you, so that we jump to the game. Sorry, to the game, not to the game. We jump to this scene. Well, we change the scene. And that's the monster. It's not that big. Let me change it a bit. And I think that it also has some behavior. So let me remove the behavior that are useless there in this new scene. And let me rotate the monster. Something like oops, wrong direction. I'm getting there. Okay, that's the monster. And we will make it bigger in front of the camera. Okay, that's surely big enough. Let me save it. Let me preview this scene. Well, okay, that's way too big actually. Let's move the monster a bit back. Can preview. I could actually. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. And let's make the monster flash a bit. So I know that there is a flash behavior that we can use, and we can ask it to the AI to see if it can find it for us. So make the monster flash rapidly, very rapidly on the screen for 1 second, then change to the game scene. So this way, this will flash quickly on the screen, and then we restart the level. I mean, that's a very basic jump scare screen, but that could work. That could work. So it's telling me that it's adding the flash behavior that we can see there with a small half period of 0.1 second. We will see the result, and it's now creating some events to launch the flashing of the monster, and then to move to the new scene. And while I'm speaking, we can check that at the beginning of the scene it will make the monster flash for 1 second, wait 1 second, and change to the next, to the game scene. And as usual, it's telling me what it has been doing. Let's give it a try. Okay, that's almost too quick. Let us wait for 1.5 seconds. So this is exactly why I like GDevelop, because you see there, what we have there is the logic of the game, of this very small jump scare screen, and it's all in English, and there is no complex syntax of a programming language to learn. and it's helpful for us to just understand what's going on, to create the logic of the game with or without AI, and you can learn like this. And I want to make the flashing way faster. Let me try this new number. Okay, it's maybe no almost too fast, and I want to blink for a longer time. Okay, that might give you a bit of a surprise when you first open the game. So now if the monster is touching me, we are still restarting the game, which is not really helpful. So what we'll do is that we will change to the jump scare screen instead. So I think that it should be simple to find this. We have to check where in the monster logic we have a scene change. There we go. There is a comment, player dies. So when the player is colliding with the monster, then we change to the scene itself. And we will select instead the jump scare screen. Now if I run the game, I have to hide the key somewhere also in the other room. And now if I'm chased by the monster, okay, that could work. Imagine that you're not looking at the monster, trying to mind your own business, and you see the monster there. Might work. What do you think, Wesley? Should we be done with this, or should we do something else?
That seems good. I think we have time for one last thing.
Yes.
But it got to be quick. So we'll do one last vote. I'll set it up now, and we can all do that. And while that's going, there were a couple of questions I'll pass over to you.
Cool.
Let me put here first.
Yes, launch the voting. I will launch the voting time. We have only 10 more minutes, so we'll have to be fast. I'm launching the timer already. And
okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
The last options, folks, are add Windows roof, restart. Well, actually, I think you did already restart the jump scare. Nobody vote for that one. Okay. Monster alerted sound effect, and then the monster nearby music loop. So when it gets close, the music plays. Those will be the last ones. Vote now, please. And the first question we got in the chat was how to redeem the code for the live stream. Somebody was asking how to use it.
And let me reopen the project. All right. Seems I had an issue with the 3D editor, but reopening the project is always helping. Anything else anything in the chat, Wesley, that you think we could answer? I'm also looking at the chat, but let me know.
Did you not hear me when I was talking?
Oh, sorry. I've been phasing out. I was too concentrated on looking at the level.
Okay, no worries. The first question was how to redeem the code for the live stream.
Oh, yeah, sure. So using the code, you can have 20% off especially on yearly subscription, which means that you can save up to I think it's $70 when you get the Pro yearly subscription. So it's very simple. You're there in your account, and if you get a subscription there, when you choose a subscription, you choose, for example, the gold yearly subscription, and when you click on it, you will be able to enter the code on the payment screen just before choosing between the payment option. So you have the choice between Stripe, credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and PayPal. And before choosing between PayPal or credit card, you can enter the coupon code, and it will tell you how much you saved at this moment. I already have a subscription for this account, so I cannot show you, but that's how it works. Speaking of it, we spoke about cloud projects, which is something that you can get using a premium membership. The AI credits. So whenever I'm using the AI, you're having credits every week that you can use for using the AI. If you're out of these AI credits, either you stop using it or you can just buy new credits. But that's not the only thing you can do with a premium account. See there, if I open the AI, you see that I have more than 850 credits. So I've used maybe 100 credits so far, and I have 1,000 for the whole week using the gold account. I was about to say, using a premium subscription, you can also get, publish your game using a one-click publishing to Android, to iOS when you have the Gold or the Pro membership, and to with the one-click packaging for desktop. So if you want your game on Steam or other platforms, you also get more leaderboards for your game, and you have unlimited rooms for the multiplayer feature from GDevelop, meaning that you're not limited to just 4 players in a room. You can have multiple rooms at the same time, and all of this is included in the silver, gold, or pro subscription. And of course, it's also helping us, the GDevelop company, to continue building the GDevelop open source game engine and all the services that we are building around it. So yeah, go to your profile and click on the subscription that you prefer to try, and then enter the coupon code at this moment, just before the payment. Wesley, do you have anything else in the chat?
There were a couple more questions, but we're going to run out of time if we do that again.
Yes.
So we're going to do the next vote, but we're tied right now between monster alerted sound effect and the monster nearby sound effect. So we'll wait for somebody to tell us really quick.
Okay. Well, you will be the.
Want to make your mind up?
You will be the one to choose if there is a tie. So you will be the tiebreaker. You just tell me what to do, and we will do it.
Monster alerted effect. Go. 5 minutes left.
Okay. So that's the. Oh, sorry. You told me the monster nearby.
No, the monster alerted effect. So when the monster starts chasing you in the event sheet, add in some screen shake and the sound effect.
All right. So there are 2 things: the music and the screen shake. Let's try to make one with the AI, and we'll do the other on our own. Let's say play a music when the when the monster is chasing the player, and then we will replace the music with a different one once it's done. And if we go in the event, we can also look at how we will do it ourselves. There is this patrolling logic, and there is this chasing logic, which is changing the state of the monster. It's a variable to chasing when it's the case. So when the monster has to chase the player. All right, so the AI decided to check if the state of the monster is chasing, and in this case, it will play a music. That can work, and then it can stop the music when the monster is not chasing. I think that can work. We can have a try. I will change this to say no need to check if the music is playing. I think it's useless. It could work, but I think it's useless. And we can also use a trigger once. It's a special condition which says that we will just launch the music only once when the monster is chasing. And we should replace this music. So this is some music that was chosen by the AI from the asset store. I'm not sure it's a perfect one, but we prepared some music. So let me replace it by a file. Like this one, the noticed sound. What do you think, Wesley? That should work.
I'd wait for it to go through the stream.
All right. the sound is now certainly playing when we're being chased. So that works. That works. And we want also some screen shake so that we know that it's behind us. Perfect. So screen shake, we can add it just there actually. Let's add an action, and before that we need something to, we need to think, how do we shake the screen? How can I shake the camera? I think we should use the shake camera extension, Wesley. That should
There's a
work.
3D shake one that would work better for
The
this.
3D shake.
Yeah.
And I just forgot to go on to the ask mode and use the build mode. So the AI has been starting to work on it, but I don't really care about it. So that's okay. Should I go back? Actually, no. It's done, so I don't care about the result. It made something. It's okay, but I don't care about it. So let's just close it and remove it. It was a bit too fast for me. That's okay. And let's search in the extension. So we will finish the live with this. I think it's helpful for everyone to know that there are extensions there. And these extensions, they can give you new behaviors, new objects. You can create your own extensions, and you can do all of this inside GDevelop. And the extensions themselves, they are created using the condition and actions, the logic that you use to create the logic of the game. It's the same thing for extensions. You can also use code like JavaScript or the JavaScript programming language. But usually it's good when you use it to put it inside an extension so that I can reuse it. There are extensions that are experimental and others that are reviewed by the GDevelop team, so to make sure they have some quality standard that is high enough. So there is the should I use the camera shake, Wesley, or the 3D object shake?
The 3D object shake, probably shake the player maybe would work.
On the player, you mean?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah, let's try. I'm not sure what it will do, but we'll see. I mean, that's what is fun also with game development.
Yeah, I don't think camera shake would work on a 3D scene.
Yes, because we have the behavior. Oh, by the way, some could ask, how is the camera working? Because there is no camera there. If you edit the player object, you can see that there is there the first person, the shooter 3D multi-touch and keyboard mapper. So that's what we use to move the player. And the first person multi-touch and first person pointer mapper are what we're using to look through this object, like if it was the player. And so these things are moving the camera for us. So what we can try to do is to shake the player, which can be I can understand, because when you're chased by a monster, you better be shaking. So let's add, before adding an action, let's open the player and add a new behavior, which is something I wanted to do. And we should have the 3D shake there. So there we have it. It has some frequency, 5, and some rotation. Okay, that can work. Let's give it a try. Let's add an action on the player when it's chased to shake it for 2 seconds maybe. And a very low start and stop time. Well, let's see what it does. Okay, well, actually that's working way better than what I was expecting, meaning that when I'm near the monster, then it's shaking, and I just got hit by the monster. All right, so I think we are mostly done. Let's give it one more try. I'm waiting for it to chase me. Okay, so I could see this be something that we could adapt a bit, the frequency of the shake. But you can see that by reusing this behavior that is already made for us. It's an extension that is part of the huge list of extensions and behaviors that are existing inside GDevelop. We've been able to add it to our player, and because the player is itself the camera, then the whole player is shaking when the monster is chasing it. I think we're out of time, so we won't have time to make a roof or to create some walls with windows or destructible walls, but maybe next time. Remember to use the code if you want to, the coupon code that you're seeing on screen there. You can use it for the next day or so. Be quick to use it if you want it. I suggest you use it on a yearly subscription because that's where you will save the most. Otherwise, you will save only 20% on the first month. But if you use it on a yearly subscription, then you get a full year of premium account for GDevelop with the AI, with the leaderboards, with the multiplayer, with the cloud projects, with everything that we're adding. You will get also monthly credits to use in the asset store for paid assets. And the AI credits that you can use every week. And you can also get a free asset pack from the asset store every month. And that's a lot already. If you're making a multiplayer game, I highly recommend you take a look. And if you're new at GDevelop, I also recommend that you take a look and you try asking questions to the AI to see if it can help you and if it can help you build stuff and if you can learn from it. You can go fairly quickly by learning the basics and then experimenting with new stuff. That's it. We're out of time. Wesley, anything in mind before we close the live?
Yeah, the last thing to talk about really quickly is that we will later share this game on social media.
Yes, totally. I activated again the fog there. Could have been also changing a bit the fog to change the color. Anyway, we will share the game so you can continue from there. It's fairly easy. I'm just saving the game, and what I will do is that I will save the game, download a copy, and we will share it so that you can just open it on GDevelop and go from there. You could also start from scratch. So if you want to learn, that's the best way to restart from scratch and do it on your own, and also understand what you've missed maybe during the live. And I think we're done. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you Wesley for being there, for monitoring the chat and helping me with the votes.
Of course.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you everyone, and we will see you soon, hopefully next week, for the same thing. And thank you everyone for being in the community, for being in the community, for being on Discord, on the forum, for being there during the live stream. We really appreciate you being there. And yeah, thank you for using GDevelop. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.